The Elyria Municipal Court is now in session. The Honorable Robert C. White presiding.
Please be seated.
Case number 2023 CRA 01186, State of Ohio, City of Elyria versus Jessica House. Defendant was charged with 2 counts of assault, 1 4th-degree felony, 1 5th-degree felony. Also case number 2023 CRB 01187, State of Ohio, City of Elyria versus Jessica House. Defendant was charged with criminal trespass and misdemeanor 4. These matters were set for preliminary hearing today, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. House, Ms. Robinson,
Good morning, Your Honor.
and Mr. Kelleher.
Morning, Your Honor.
All right, so it's my understanding that Ms. House would like to waive her right to a preliminary hearing. Is that correct, Ms. Robinson?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. That is correct.
All right, so Ms. House, I want to make sure you understand what you're doing. All right? By waiving your right to a preliminary hearing, you're also acknowledging that there's probable cause in this case. That means there's probable cause to believe 2 things. Number 1, that the crimes of assault, felony 4, felony 5, as well as a criminal trespass, 4th-degree misdemeanor were committed, and that you're the person who committed them. Probable cause means that a reasonable person would believe that the allegations are true. So once this happens, once you waive your right to a preliminary hearing, this case is going to be transferred to the Lorain-County Court of Common Pleas. At that point in time, after the pretrial process is completed, you have the right to a trial either before a judge or before a jury. And at that point, the burden of proof changes to a much higher burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
In other words, to prove guilt, it's a much higher standard. Probable cause is a very low standard. And you have the right to a trial once you are at common pleas.
Do you understand all that? Yes.
Yes.
And you'd like to waive your right to a preliminary hearing, is that correct?
That's
You need time to talk, Ms. Robinson, Ms. Howes?
Do you need any additional time to talk, or are you okay with what we talked about downstairs with waiving the preliminary?
Yeah, that's fine.
You want to waive your right to a preliminary hearing, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right, so Mr. Kelleher, would the alleged victims like to make a statement today?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, so it's my understanding that the bond is continued and all conditions of bond remain the same. Is that right, Mr. Kelleher?
It is, Your Honor.
Agreement?
There is a matter of the defendant having gone immediately to social media. I'd like the court to reacquaint her with the requirements to stay off social media.
Okay, so Ms. Robinson, it's also your understanding that the bond remains the same as well as all conditions, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor, and it will indicate that I had a long conversation before we went on record with my client. She is aware of the rules and restrictions. She has no intention to have any contact with anyone involved in this case or with the schools. She also understands it's incumbent upon her to stay off of social media in regard to this case or anything directed at anyone involved from the schools in this case.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Howes, I'm going to continue the bond that I set at your initial appearance, at your initial appearance, and the same conditions are going to apply. You can have no contact with either Joel Melvin or Katie Huff. That means you can't have any contact with them, either face-to-face or through any aid or device. You cannot call them, text message, email message, Facebook message, no contact whatsoever. You can't have anybody else have contact with them on your behalf. If one of them is somewhere and you arrive, even if you didn't know that they were going to be there, you have to leave. If you are somewhere first and one of them arrives, even if you didn't know that they were coming, you're the one that has to leave, And they can't give you permission to have contact with them. So even if they were to say it's okay, it's not okay. You understand that? Now, I can't keep you off Facebook. But I can tell you, you cannot have any contact with them through Facebook. You understand that? I'm sure that Ms. Robinson has already given you some very wise advice about that. I would suggest that you follow that advice. You understand all that? All right, also, you have to stay at least 500 feet away from any Elyria City School facility. Do you understand that? All right. Anything else, Mr. Keller?
I've been asked to have you touch upon the protection order. I think it's 1,000 feet on the protection order.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Howes, you've also been served with protection orders in this case, is that right?
Correct.
So the protection order applies to Katie Huff and Joel Melvin. And it does indicate that you have to stay at least 1,000 feet from any of the protected persons, all right? But it is 500 feet away from any Elyria City School property. But if they are at the school, that means you have to stay at least 1,000 feet away from them. So if it's regular school hours, I would suggest you stay away. Make sure you stay at least 1,000 feet away. You understand? Anything else, Mr. Keller?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, good luck, Ms. House. Thank you.